Alright everyone, I'm currently in a different location. I'm in the basement of my brother's place at the moment, just in the workshop area, as you can tell. And I got a little something to show you. And here it is. We have ourselves here a Kenmore Dehumidifier from 2010. We first got this for him in summertime of that year, I think roughly May or June. And he had it for about, I'm going to say, roughly 6 or 7 years before it started giving a problem. Now, Spatsbear himself made a video of a modern dehumidifier back in 2010 as well, when he got his 1988 Whirlpool off of eBay. And this dehumidifier suffered the same problem his did, and that is a lot of the refrigerant that it had in here leaked out. It did last a little bit longer than his, maybe by a couple to a few more years. But yeah, after 6 or 7 years, the refrigerant leaked out, and the way he could tell was every time it would run, the evaporator would ice up. No matter how warm it was downstairs or whatever, it just totally stopped working completely in that regard. So I want to show you some comparisons of this thing compared to the Kenmore that we have over in our house, the 1987 one. First off is, I mean, it goes without saying, look at how much plastic is on this thing, okay? See, this is on the basement slab, mind you, okay? You see this section of the dehumidifier here? Look at this. This thing just, like, wobbles back and forth. It's unbelievable. And like, this piece comes off like this, apparently, for whatever reason. I don't know, unless you want to break the refrigerant lines, which I don't want to do. Admittedly, not a terrible amount of rust. This is the evaporator, which gets cold, and this is the condenser, which gets warm, which is why this is still in pretty good condition because it stays dry. This steel piece here rusted, as you can see. The copper changing color is normal, that's expected. This is like weather stripping here for the cushioning. But there's something I gotta show you guys here. This is just ridiculous, okay? Remember I showed you, well no, some of you may not, back in 2014 when Jay and I made the video of the 1987 Kenmore, I pointed out how the fins were for the evaporator, how sturdy they were. I mean, look at this. Like, look how easily these bend. You see that? Look at that. It is, the quality is just not there. And I gotta show you guys something else, okay? This is the metal on the side here. That's pretty much the same metal as these fins, okay? Let me see if I can zoom in here. Okay, watch this. Look how easily that bends, okay? I'm putting very little effort on this thing, and to call this thing flimsy would be an insult, okay? A soda can that's broken apart is more sturdy than this. I am not kidding. It is unbelievable how cheaply this is made. The fact that this lasted 6 to 7 years is amazing, honestly. Look at this. It is like, I mean, there's like no word for it, just how bad it is. And again, just look at all this. Plastic, okay? And it is so not stable at all with the other stuff removed. And here's the fan right here. Of course, they got to do this blower wheel. They can't just put a regular fan on there anymore. And here's the compressor. It's a scroll compressor made by, let's see here. There's the name right there. I don't know how you say that. I'm not even going to bother pronouncing it, but there you go. That's who it's made by. Right there on the label, in nice capital letters, made in China. And the refrigerant it took was R410A. The 87 Kenmore takes R22. I mean, the compressor probably still works, it runs, but it doesn't have that much refrigerant in it anymore. The fan motor is okay. Maybe we'll salvage that, I don't know. I would love to demonstrate this for you guys, but unfortunately I can't do that because my brother, he salvaged some parts from it. I'll show it to you in a little bit. You can see right here, this is where the control panel, the electronic control panel used to attach. He cut the wires there. He cut the wires from the compressor and the power cords off. So he did the smart thing, you know. He did save some parts from it, but and this dehumidifier did the same thing that Spatsbear's did. During the winter, it would cycle on and off every couple to a few minutes, and in the summer, no matter what setting you had it at, it just ran constantly, all the time. Now that's Energy Star right there, right? Just running all the time? Definitely. Okay, so not terribly complex compared to that Comfort Air that he had, I will admit, but still, I mean, I'm just looking at this plastic and I'm like, this is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. I really can't believe this. I mean, I can, but it's like just wow, where the quality goes. And there's actually a wiring diagram down there, as you can see. Are there any ratings for it on there? Let me take a look. It was a 70-pint model, and that's about it. And just give me a second, guys. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just my brother needed me for a minute there. That's why I stopped. Anyway, let's have a look at that sticker again, okay? Let me zoom in. Here it is. It says Kenmore on top. It's kind of cut off from the top there, but there's your stuff. R410A. Yeah, look at that. Made in Korea? I doubt that very much. Seriously. Yeah, like, and it said right there on the compressor, made in China. So what's made in Korea? The plastic? I mean, geez. And again, there's the wiring diagram. So like I said, it was 6 or 7 years old when the refrigerant started coming out, and then the evaporator just kept freezing up. So, just a sign of the times. The Kenmore Dehumidifier we have is now over 30 years old. Okay, and before we even got it in 2014, or more specifically Jay did, it didn't run for a good 10 years last I heard. And aside from the compressor having a couple of hard times starting, which I think a weak run capacitor was to blame. But anyway, even with all that, it just started coming on every single time. And there's one other thing about this dehumidifier that I forgot to mention. Okay, this had the kind of electronic controls where if you lost power, guess what? That's not coming back on until you manually turn it back on. If it loses power, the control panel forgets everything you had set onto it. So it's like another sign of cheap quality. Absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, fins thinner than a soda can. Okay, plastic that just rocks back and forth on a basement slab, mind you. Okay, crappy fans. Compressor, I don't know if that's bad or not, but right there, made in China. Okay, loses refrigerant. Insane. Now, you know what? Let me just show you what parts he did save. So, if you want a dehumidifier, go to eBay or something, because these modern ones are just... I just don't trust them. But there is a modern one I'll show you that he did replace it with. But first, let me show you the parts he saved. Okay. Let's see. Over here, he saved... let me get some lights on here. Hold on. He saved the number display, the de-icer sensor, and some of the green LEDs, which were the displays. The red LED there, sorry for the shadow. The red LED was for the bucket full light, and all these green LEDs were for all the settings, like, you know, the humidity setting, the fan speed, all that stuff. So, and he saved some capacitors as well. So he desoldered a lot of the parts here, and actually did save them, which was probably a cool thing to do. Let me go ahead and show you what the new one looks like. And here's what he replaced it with. He replaced it with a dehumidifier by Hisense. I think that's how you say that. Electronic control, your low efficiency seal of approval. And here's all the options you have. Admittedly, what is kind of cool about this is it's a pump model, which means that instead of having to always empty a pan or a bucket, it pumps the water out as it fills up. You can see the plastic tube goes over there, then go back into the workshop. You can see it goes across there and into the drain pipe right there. See that right there? And it goes in right there. So, now of course the question is, how long will the pump last? And how long will it go on from here? Now, he did say that he has a 3-year warranty on it, which I will admit is kind of impressive for a modern dehumidifier. But, you know, we'll just see how time goes with it. So, on the back, let me see if I can show that to you. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here's the stuff on it. Another 70-pint model, 410A, 115 volts, and rated for 6.8 amps. If someone can do the wattage calculation for me in the comments below, I'd greatly appreciate that. I don't feel like doing that right now. Let's see. Yes, right there. See? Made in China. Says it right there, of course. And lots of plastic as well. I don't know how the inside is, but I'm sure there's tons of plastic in there as well. So like I said, this is what he has for now. We'll see how long it goes for. Just put this back in position. Okay. So this is a few months old, I guess, and just goes to show you, modern stuff. Like I said, 6 to 7 years for a modern dehumidifier is kind of interesting, but in general, horrible amount of life. Like I said, the 1987 Kenmore we have is over 30 years old and still runs just like a champ, and you even saw the video of me cleaning it. So there you have it, just an example of bad dehumidifiers and just where the quality is gone. So I guess that's all I really have to say. You can see what I meant about with everything. So as usual, guys, thank you very much for watching, and take care.